Well done. What a crew. Thank you very much. What a crew.
Thank you.
I tell you. You know what? Spirit is perfect. Just like Bud's prayer. Yes, we could have chosen getting upset about our sound system going on today and the quirks and the, Ghost in the Machine, for those of you who can recognize. But we chose love. We chose laughter. And that's what it's really about, making the choice. We are the perfection of spirit in action. And just like Bud said, we have free will. So, let's figure out what our free will is about. I want to say this prayer right here, very quickly before we get started. This is part of my class. In me is the universal mind which knows far more than I do. I let this great subconscious knowing and acting power do for me this day what I need it to do this day. All the wisdom, wit, and intelligence of God now is working through me to accomplish what I plan to do. I find that when I come here, I do more than just read words. I embody the words that I read. And that's how come I get emotional at times. But it makes me feel alive. It makes me want to do more and create more. And so with that, being that it's the holidays, and all that great feast that we're all talking about and thinking about all year, it's the prep work. What do we do to create that feast? Who do we call? How do we go about doing it? Let's find out together. Create a culinary delight to excite the taste buds. That's first and foremost the priority of when we create a meal is like, what do I feel like eating today? And then going about buying the vegetables, fruits, and whatnot. But the spice. What spices am I going to use? Cooking is very simple, or it can be very difficult. It depends upon the framework and your point of mind that you have. There's plenty of times that I feel like creating a dish and I've never done in my life before. And I could be apprehensive and worrisome about how to do this or how to do that. But when I just allow the natural creative instinct that we all have, test 1, 2, we get to have fun. We get to experiment. Even though there's a recipe that tells us the measurements of what ingredients to use, no two dishes are exactly the same. That's the same with you and I. We have the same exact ingredients in each and every one of us. Spirit in action. That's all there is. That's all there ever will be. But it's the mixture of what each of us are doing and being that creates the flavor of life. Choose activities that stimulate the mind. So now we're taking cooking and going from cooking, and how do I apply it to my everyday life? Choose activities that stimulate the mind. What are you doing with your life? Are you having a bland meal? If so, change it by changing your activities. Spice up your life. Go out on the skinny branch. Deal with the quirks of life and laugh at it. There's nothing to cry about. There's only feeling joy that moves you to a state of tears of joy. Wow, put that in my book. A good meal begins with fresh ingredients. Isn't that true? I wouldn't make a meal for my friends using, oh, gee, there's my avocado's too black or whatever it is. I've got to use the freshest ingredients. I've got to cut my coriander just right, fine dice, and I got to make sure my knives are sharp so I don't, they say a sharp knife is a safe knife. So I've got to make sure that my knives are sharp. I have to make sure that my mind is sharp. A sharp mind is a safe mind. There we go. Divine action. So start with fresh ingredients in your life. If you're not happy with how your life is right now, go grocery shopping. Or better yet, maybe go to a different grocery store. Let your heart guide you to find the next great idea. Always expand your experiences. There's certain meals I absolutely love, and I will always make them. But I don't limit myself to just those meals. I'm always looking at something new, especially on Instagram or on Facebook when they send you those, those little video snippets. Oh, Jiminy Cricket, I'm surprised I'm not as big as Horace Wells. That's for our senior people here. But seriously, it's like all the time I'm sending myself text messages of these great recipes to try and do because it looks so delicious. And new ways of doing things on how to cook the same meal, but maybe use a different technique. Pick the right ingredients for a tasty meal. What is it that you want to cook? What is it that you want to experience today? All these flavors, all these herbs in the ground. You can take the same plate of penne pasta and make a multitude of different dishes just solely on the herbs that you use. What herbs are we using in our lives? What herbs are you using in your life? If you're a little bit too much pepper, cut back a little bit. Increase the nutmeg? Great. What activities am I willing to participate in to create the life I want? There we go. Going out on that skinny branch. Go outside the norm. Get outside the Kraft macaroni and cheese, or what my kids used to call chili mac. It's a can of Hormel chili and a box of macaroni and cheese, and that was a nice staple on a Friday night so that they got their carbs for soccer on Saturday. But expand your taste buds. Expand your own life. Get out on that skinny branch. No matter what type of movement you're able to do. I mean, David here has a walker. But I tell you what, he lets nothing get in his way. He wants to do something, he does it. It may take him half the day, but he still does it. And it's wonderful to see you here. But that's the beautiful thing about life. Here we are again, Sunday service, day in and day out, and here we had a little bit of quirks and stuff like that, but it's fun to deal with them because now we know that we're alive. If everything was perfect, you would be on autopilot. And how many times have you driven home from work and didn't even realize how you got home, and all of a sudden you're in your driveway? You're leading a boring life. I'm leading a boring life. Take a different route. Go right when you should have gone left. Find something new. As a chef, we are not alone. Someone, a sous chef, is available to help. As a chef, you are not the only one doing the cooking. You may take the overlook on everything that's happening, how the plate gets, how it gets plated, what we're cooking for the proteins, all that sort of stuff. But you have a multitude of people in the background who are doing the fine dicing and cutting and stuff like that. So who is it that's helping you? You are in control of your life. Yes, that is absolutely true. But there's friends, families, there are practitioners that are here to help you. Life, we are not alone. Someone, a practitioner, is available to help you. Every Sunday we talk about how we have Minute Miracles over in the Om Room. And the beautiful thing I love about this philosophy is we pray the next thing in. We don't pray because there's a problem and I need some higher help to kind of get me out of the ditch. Yes, we pray for that too, but we lead an expectant life. What's the next greatest thing in? What's my next meal going to be? Where is that divine inspiration? I'm saying yes to it. I've got all the cook pans. I got a stove top, whether it's electric or whether it's gas. I've got an oven. Use the darn stuff. I mean, I like to cook, but there's still a few pans I haven't really used yet. Maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm cooking or go beyond what I've already done so far. Because no matter how far you think you've gone in life, as a chef or as a person, there's always something greater to experience. Because spirit is limitless. You may think you have all the answers. That's great. That means you've only answered the questions that you've asked. There's other questions you don't even know about. So let's start asking questions and finding new answers to create that great life. The prep work is organizing for the recipe. Yes, being organized in the kitchen is vital. You have to know where all your ingredients are. There's some people I know who actually do all the prepping and put them in those nice little bowls, those little mini bowls, so they have them, they just dump the whole thing in, especially when you're watching them on TV. Rachel Ray or whatever, it's like they come in, they start cooking in, they put something in, and they pull something right back out. No, they prepped. That's not how cooking works. That's not how life works. The prep work is vital for a fulfilling life. You want to become strong? You want to be active? The prep work is you have to work out. You have to move. You want to be a rocket scientist? The prep work is going to class, learning quantum physics, learning mechanical physics. It may be a daunting task because it's something new in our lives that we've been divinely guided to say, hey, I'd like to try that. But let us not be afraid to try. So what if we fall down? That's why we have a resilient body that heals itself. Gets scrapes and bruises, but it heals itself because we can fall down, but we have the ability, the energy, the knowingness to get up off the ground and say, that didn't work, but I'll try this route next time. And maybe this route will be the route that gets me to where I wanted to be. So plastic is mind, so receptive that the slightest thought makes an impression upon it. People who think many kinds of thoughts must expect to receive confused manifestations in their lives. If a gardener plants 1,000 kinds of seeds, he will get 1,000 kinds of plants. It is the same in mind. That's Ernest Holmes. That's from our textbook. I brought that in because it's along with cooking, but that's true. Every thought manifests. What are you thinking? How much power, meaning how much feeling are you putting behind your thoughts? It's very simple to change our lives. We change our thoughts. Yes, there is a sequential and orderly fashion to the universe because spirit is organized and orderly. It doesn't mean it's I dream a genie and it's done. Yes, the intent, the groundwork is laid instantaneous. But it's through the natural sequential order of life and spirit that it naturally unfolds. So let's pay attention to what we're thinking of. The slightest thought makes an impression upon it, meaning spirit. God. Spirit is always there. It is always listening, and it says yes to everything. Free will makes it to where we have to control what we are thinking. And that's the beautiful symbiotic relationship that we have with Spirit. And not symbiotic, that meaning that we're outside of Spirit, because one thing that we teach here is that there's Spirit and nothing but Spirit. So we, each and every one of us, are a divine attribute. We are the facet of the diamond of God. We each have our own direction that we're facing, but we are ultimately made up of the same spiritual essence. It is up to us to shine. So let us sharpen our minds and have a flavorful, fulfilling life. So what will you create for your next meal? So far, your meal has been what it is to this moment right here. What will your next meal be? You don't have to answer me. You answer this right inside of you. If you are feeling less than or uninspired, that's the universe. That's your spiritual self saying, I want to experience something greater. I want better flavor in my food. Say yes. Be the chef of your life. Be the best cook you can be. You may be the best banana nut bread maker. You got that down. Make a different bread. Because the best at something, become the best at something else. What the heck? Now, I'm look at this. It's gone from the audio to my mind. Let me read that again. You may be the best banana nut bread maker. You got that down. There we go. Make a different bread. Become the best at something else, or at least try it. There we go. Who you are today, you are the best at. It doesn't mean that you've reached the pinnacle. We never do. So if you think that you are at the pinnacle of your life, guess what? That is your divine self talking to you saying, give me something more. I'm tired of salt and pepper. Give me more flavor. Be that chef of your own life. Create a different dish. Go to classes. Take art, sculpting. Write a book. But do something that fulfills you. We have the nutrients to fulfill our bellies. Now, our spiritual self, we have to fulfill and feed our mind. Spiritually, today, let's feed ourselves on this holiday season. Thank you very much. Now buckle up, Buttercup, and enjoy the ride.